Hirana Kali Potokurshi Himoto Hiranaya Tokurani Kimaya Takaya Rohotaya Vishitanya Kali Motahashika Hirokomati Hariamukode Ishtaya Mukupala Karanda Krusha Hyarata. In the essence of all things, in the truth of all things, in the divinity, in the peace and the wonderment, in the joy that we are living in right here, right now, in this moment, we find that we are required only to be our true divine selves. We are required only to be our true divine selves. Our true divine selves is who we are. It's what we came here to do, and it is who we came here to become. The true divine self that we are, the true divine essence that we are dwelling in, the true divine nature that we see in each and every day, we know that as ourselves. We seek that within us, and we feel that in everything we are doing. Peacefully receiving God's grace into our being, peacefully arriving into that space of truth right now, right here in our being, as we are one with all things. We consciously allow ourselves to become that divine essence of truth within our being now. We consciously allow ourselves to become that divine essence of truth within our being now. We are the truth of all things. We are the divinity that rests within us. As us, we catch ourselves only in moments of joy, peace, truth, divinity, and love. As we walk forward into this world, as we see new things, as we experience the world in a different way, we are allowing consciousness to access us from our inner beings. We are allowing consciousness to come to us in the way that consciousness chooses to come to us in every day, in every moment. The consciousness within us is the consciousness of all things. We have come to be consciousness here now in this moment of peace, love, and divinity. So I call to you, my divine one, my divine master of light, my divine energy of consciousness, my divine truth. I call to you and I say to you, begin with me now. Begin with me now. Touch my innermost heart space. Touch my innermost place of knowing. Touch my innermost being and reveal to me the truth of my beingness now. Reveal to me the truth of my destination here on this earth plane. Reveal to me the essence of all things, for what I came here to be, what I came here to do, and what I came here to experience is always with me in this moment of divinity now. In the essence of all things, in the truth of all things, in the divinity of all things, in the peace that we are living in right now, we can find this joy, we can find this truth, and we can find this divinity within ourselves, in the world around us, and in all things we are doing. So now we access that consciousness within us, we access that joy within us, we access that truth within us, we access the consciousness that knows light, that knows joy, that knows peace, that knows truth, and that knows everything that we are doing as divine and free. I walk in this world now in consciousness and grace. I walk in this world now in consciousness and truth. I walk in this world now as a divine being of light, the divine being of light that is calling to me, the divine being of light that is calling to me. I access that consciousness within me now that sees that divine being of light that is calling to me. I am allowing this essence into my being now. I am allowing this truth into my being now. I am allowing this consciousness into myself. Now I see divinity in all things. I see truth in all things. I access the consciousness of myself, my true self, my true divine self in my own being now. And I allow that consciousness to become the energy of grace that is receiving me into it in everything I am doing and seeing in the world. Now the world is becoming my play. Now the world is becoming my divine, energetic, graceful, a live piece of energy in the world. I am now seeing that God's grace rests in me as everything I am doing. I am now seeing that God's grace plays within me. And as God's grace plays within me, I am able to play in the world and see the things around me as divine, peaceful, loving, and free. I access consciousness within my own being. And as I access consciousness within my own being, I call out this divine being of light. Who is this divine being of light that I am accessing within my own being? Who is this divine being of light that I am accessing within my truth, within my consciousness, within my grace, within everything I am doing? Who is this divine being of light that I say, come to me now, be with me now? We are a part of each other. We are in the grand scheme of life together, playing this game on this earth together. We are the beings of light that we have come here to be. We are conscious, we are alive, we are true, we are divine, we are peaceful, we are loving, and we are free. The consciousness within us is now accessing this divine being of light within my being, accessing the consciousness within my being that is the divine being of light that has come here to be with me on this earth plane. I consciously allow this divine being of light to consciously access me now. I allow this divine being of light to consciously access me now. I am calling out this divine being of light, this divine one, this divine truth, this divine peace, this divine love, this divine essence to access me now. We are one consciousness, we are one love, we are one piece of truth in this divinity. All things that we see, all things that we do, all things that we accomplish here on this earth plane, it is all given by God. It is all seen by God. It is all felt by God. We know this energy of grace. We know this energy of truth. We know this energy of peace. I am alive in consciousness and grace. I am alive in truth. I am alive in peace. I give myself to the energy of grace in everything I am doing. I give myself to the energy of grace in everything that I am seeing. I give myself to the energy of truth, the energy of peace, the energy of divinity. I call myself out into access consciousness that I feel, that I know, that I do every single day. I call myself out into this access consciousness that I feel, that I do every single day. I now access my own consciousness within my own being, and I'm seeking for another being to experience this life with me now. I am seeking for another being to experience this life with me now. I am seeking for a being to be divine on this earth plane in the way that we came here to be divine, to be free, to be loving, to be kind, to be sun, everything that we want. I am the Son of God. I am the Son of Christ. I am the Son of Truth. I am the Son of Divinity. That is my life. That is my truth. That is my awakening. We see together that the Son of Christ is the Son of God, is the Son of Truth, is the Son of Divinity. We see that together we make this sun one whole complete entity of energy, of grace, of truth, of divinity. I seek my truth only within the grace of God in everything that I am doing. I seek my truth only within the grace of God in everything that I am doing. Together we come together on this earth plane. This divinity of truth is awakening within me now, and I accept you, my divine love, into my space of peace, into my space of truth, into my space of love. We are one consciousness. We are one grace. We are one truth. We are one understanding. This energy of grace is within us now. We complete the circle of change as we come together in this space of truth, peace, love, divinity, and understanding. I awaken to you, my divine light being. I awaken to you, my divine Christ self. I awaken to you, the divine energy of grace that rests within me as the divine lover, as the divine consciousness, as the divine truth, and as the divine peace. I now access you within my own being, the divine energy of Christ, the divine energy of truth, and the divine energy of peace that I am already. We come together on this earth plane in a divine way, in a truthful way, in a peaceful way, in a loving way. I access the consciousness within you as you access the consciousness within me. I allow you to come into my being, to be in my being, to know my being, to access my being, to experience my being. I allow you to be the one that you came here to be, as you are everything that always has been and everything that will always be. I allow you to come into my being as we access the consciousness of grace together in everything that we are doing. We know that God's grace is the energy of truth, the energy of peace, and the energy of love. In our whole life experience, everything that we've ever wanted is in this play of divine energy coming to us, through us, around us, between us, above us, below us. In this moment of grace, feel the energy of your divine lover coming to you now in this moment, encircling him or her in your divine grace, in your divine truth, in your divine love, in your divine play. Feel that energy of your divine grace coming to you now. Feel that energy of your divine peace coming to you now. Feel the energy of God's grace circling you and everything you are doing. We come together in this play as a divine energy of grace. I allow my divine peace to be seen in everything that I am doing. I allow my divine energy of grace to be seen in the lover, in the consciousness, in the truth. We are now one energy of grace. We are now one energy of truth. We are now one energy of peace. We seek God's grace within everything we are doing. Together we stand united on this earth plane, and we know that the grace within us is the grace within all things. I accept you, my divine lover, into my beingness now. I accept you, my divine lover, into my consciousness now. I accept you, my divine love, as I accept all things that are divine and free. We access each other as we access the consciousness of all things. You are swirling into the light of my beingness and the consciousness and the grace and the truth of everything I ever was and ever will be. You are swirling into the grace, into the truth, into the consciousness of my allowance, of my acceptance, of my seeing, of my knowing, of my being, that you are here with me now in this moment of peace. I accept you, my divine love, into my beingness, into my consciousness, and into my grace. Allow your divine lover to be a part of your being, a part of your consciousness, part of your grace, a part of your truth, a part of your energy of seeing, knowing, and accepting God's grace into your being now, because together we allow the arrangement of God's grace to be seen in everything we are doing. Together we allow the acceptance of God's grace to be who we truly are now in everything that we are doing. Together we allow this energy of grace to come to us. And now this is an experience of truth. This is an experience of peace. And this is an experience of pure joy, pure joy, pure joy. The blissful energy of grace comes through me, receives me, sees me, feels me, knows me, and accepts me. I feel you, my divine lover, within my presence of grace in this moment, in all moments that have ever been, and that will ever be. We accept each other into the divine graceful moment of peace, truth, love, and energy arrangement that we are seeking now on this earth plane. I feel you. I know you. I accept you. I am that energy of grace that you are. We always have been this energy of grace. We have always been this energy of peace, and we have always been this energy of the arrangement of consciousness that comes together as us on this earth plane. I am now seeking you, my divine love. I am now seeking you, my divine love. I am now seeking you, my divine love. Access the consciousness within your being. Access the consciousness deep within your being. Let it shoot up above your being, into the sky, into the cosmos, into the heavens. Access the consciousness within your being. Let it shoot up above your being, into the sky, into the consciousness, into the heavens of all things. God's grace descends now upon you as you feel the grace of all things coming through you. God's grace now descends upon you. You feel God's grace energetically awakening, alive within you. We feel God's grace becoming who we are now in this moment of peace. And as we allow God's grace to become who we are in this energy of peace, we feel this other being awakening within the consciousness of our own being. We feel this other being awakening within the consciousness of our own being. We feel this other being awakening within the consciousness of our own grace, our own truth, our own peace, and our own divinity. Because in this reality of peace, we are not separate from him or her, never have been and never will be. This energy of grace arrives within us now, and we can feel the consciousness of the awakening of this truth, of this divine union within our being now. Allow it to awaken within you. Allow the feelings of grace to become who you truly are. I am accepting you, my divine lover of peace, into my being now. I am accepting you, my divine lover of grace, into my being now. I am accepting you, my divine lover. I feel you. I know you. This is the energy of peace that has always been within me. This is the energy of grace that has always resided in me as all things. This is the energy of grace that I know as you and you know as me. We are God consciousness. We are grace. We are truth. We are energy awakening now, seeking each other in the divinity of all things, seeking each other in the truth of our own consciousness, of our own being, seeking each other as we know grace, as we know truth, as we know love. We can see each other in the grace and the truth and the love and the peace of all things. I now accept you, my divine love, my peaceful, energetic grace rests within me as the one that I am awakening to on this earth plane. I am wowing my life into existence. I am wowing my life into experience. I am wowing my experience of grace into my being now. As I say, wow, I accept the energy of grace that already rests within me as me. As I say, wow, I accept the energy of grace that already experiences me as all things. As I say, wow, I give the energy of grace to everything and everyone around me. There is not a creature, a noticeable energy that is around me that cannot be seen as grace. I see you, I know you, I feel you, I experience you, and I rest in the grace and the truth and the energy of consciousness of all things. I now experience you, my divine lover, my divine peace, my divine joy, my divine energy of grace. I now experience you. I feel you. Accept me as your own as I accept you as my own. Accept me as your consciousness as I accept you as my consciousness. Accept me as your grace as I accept you as my grace. We are one energy of peace, consciousness, truth, and divinity. There can be no separation between anyone or anything on this earth plane, because everything that we've ever done, will ever do, can ever see, can ever feel, can ever experience is the one energy of grace that is God's consciousness, that is God's truth, and that is God's bliss. We cannot be separate from each other, never have been, never will be. So this one energy of grace that I am calling forth now within my being, that is the divine light being that I have called forth for an eternity, is now becoming me, as I am becoming this being of light in my being now. And all access to all consciousness is available within this union. All access to all consciousness is accessible to us in this union of grace. All access to all consciousness becomes us as we become the world around us. We are seeking God's grace, we are seeking God's peace, and we are seeking God's unity, and the unity within us becomes the unity of all things. We are the access consciousness that allows us to see, that allows us to be, that allows us to experience the energy, the grace, the truth, and the feeling quality of life that we have come here to be. I feel you, my divine love, I feel you, and I accept you. I feel you, my divine love, I feel you, and I accept you. I feel you, my divine love, I feel you, and I accept you. Access me now into your being as I access you into my being. We are all divine lovers, we are all divine truth, and we are all divine peace. I now know that the truth of my being is the truth of your being. I now know that the truth of myself is the truth of yourself. I now know that as we access this consciousness within us, I see you, I feel you, I develop you, I want you, I work with you, I consciously am aware of you. We have come here to be with another being on this earth plane. As we access consciousness within our own being, this being will access us in a certain way that gives us life, that gives us truth, and that gives us peace. We will access the consciousness within that being that allows us in a certain way to be the divine energy and the divine consciousness in the divine peace of all things. Together we are one energy of grace, together we are one energy of truth, and together we are one energy of peace. This is the meaning of the true consciousness of divinity as we come together in marriage. What is true marriage? What is true grace? And what is true peace? The true marriage that comes together on this earth plane is the truth of all things. It is the truth of grace, it is the truth, and it is the truth of peace. We come together in union, in unity and union, in divine unity and divine grace. We come together in God's energy, in God's truth, in God's peace, and together we do the work of the essence of the truth, of the divinity, of the peace on this earth plane. Together we do the work that we came here to do in a way that accesses consciousness within us, within all things. We experience grace, we experience truth, we experience love. I give to you now, my divine lover, everything I am, everything I ever have been, and everything I will ever be, as I give to God the consciousness of my grace, of my truth, of my peace. I am married to the divine consciousness of God. I am married to the divine consciousness of truth. And I am married to the divine consciousness of grace. And through you, my divine lover, my divine light being, my divine energy of grace, I give you everything I am, everything I've ever been, and everything I will ever be. And we commit to each other in this divine peace, in this divine moment of grace. And we commit to each other in this divine truth, in this divine moment of grace. And we commit to each other everything we've ever been, ever have been, and ever will be. I commit to you with my full grace, with my full peace, and with my full truth. We are now one energy of grace. We are married in the union of God's love, God's peace, God's divinity, and God's truth. We are married in the union of everything that we've ever seen, ever experienced, ever been, ever known, ever done. We are that energy of grace. Together, together we are one. We are that energy of grace. Together, together we are one. We are that energy of grace. Together, together we are one. We accept each other as one peace, one truth, one energy of grace. I love you. I see you. I feel you. I experience you. Give yourself the divinity, the truth, the peace, the knowingness within you now that accepts your divine lover on this earth plane. Give yourself the acceptance of divinity within you now that gives yourself the experience of the divine consciousness in everything you are doing as that piece of consciousness that comes together in a true relationship and a true divine marriage on this earth plane. We are now accepting God's grace into us and allowing it to become who we truly are on this earth plane in the divine union of all things. I marry you, my divine love, in my divine essence, in my divine truth, and in my divine peace. I marry you, my divine love, in my divine essence, in my divine truth, in my divine energy of all things. Consciously allowing you into my being, consciously accepting you into my heart space, consciously seeing you in the devotion of everyday reality, consciously feeling you in the divinity of my acceptance of my true self now. This is where I belong. This is what I am doing. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I am receiving. And this is what I am feeling. Now we come together. Now we come together. Now we come together as one energy of divine peace. Call in your divine lover. Call in the divine union. Call in the marriage of grace, peace, truth, and love that you have been seeking on this earth plane. It is always around you. It is always within you. It is always there for you to see, be, experience, and know. On this earth plane, we completely come together. In this energy of grace now, we completely come together. In this energy of peace now, we completely come together in this energy of grace that speaks to us through our divine partner now on this earth plane, the divine love that I've been seeking, that I've been wanting, that I've been knowing within my experience of grace. It's all here for you right now. It's all here for you right now. See it, feel it, experience it, and know it, and let God's grace just fill you with everything you've seen, known, or experienced. Let God's love fill you, because that is the love, that is the energy, that is the grace that you are seeking. It is your grace, it is your love, and it is your truth, and I love you. And seeking you is seeking me, and we are seeking the divinity of all things within each other now. I seek you, I know you, and I feel you, and I experience you. So become your energy of grace, become your energy of truth, become your energy of peace, become that divine union that you are seeking, and it will be revealed to you on the earth plane now. I seek you, I know you, and I feel you. My divine love. Kai Shanti. Now, now, now. I feel you now. I feel you. Now I feel you inside my beingness, inside my heart, inside my energy of God, in everything I'm doing. I feel you, I know you, and I experience you now. shita karayano korota harite. Ishtakarina nalia pututo taeta korishva shva 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 korbate koro. I am matuto taera korbishva shva 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 korbatero. O madaita etu shva tataetu tariato korushaya shaya shaya shupate koro. Aini rota etu tara korbishva karvindira yamututera yatata. Ainora yatoto shiva karmantu shirayate rayata. Eno nayate yoro kurbate firayanono. Are kurba ere krajaya nanda kaleve. Aranaro krupare kreato. Nayata. Gyamata. Putone.
Love is all you ever need.